Look, I'm sick and tired of this MAGA Republican WWE fascism, just weird stuff. I mean, we saw at the RNC, they invited Hulk Hogan to like rip off his shirt and like, oh yeah, the Hulk. Look, I just want normal politicians who are talking about issues that matter to families and that matter to Americans. I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know if you saw what went down at the Missouri State Fair where MAGA Republican Josh Hawley was trying one of these stunts with the Democratic candidate for Senate of Missouri, Lucas Kunce. Let me just show you what went down. Let me just show you, like, as Josh Hawley tries to confront Lucas, and Lucas has been, I think, asking 5 times for debates. I'll debate you here. I'll debate. Let's just put it on TV. This is what Josh Hawley did to try to create some stunt. Here, watch this.
Because they know that you are bad. You have a 0% rating from them. You are anti-labor. You've always been anti-labor. The only reason you stay around is because you're not losing the election. You're not popular. It's embarrassing.
I'm joined right now by Lucas Kunce, running for the Senate position in Missouri. Lucas, welcome to the show.
Hey, yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
So tell us what happened there. What was going through your mind? It was very, very strange stuff.
I mean, it was the craziest thing. I'm at the Missouri State Fair and I'm just chatting with some folks, meeting voters, meeting people who want to have power back in their lives. And, Josh Hawley rolls up to me 100% top speed, like all mic'd up, camera crew behind him, wearing him just like the cutest little Western themed button up shirt you've ever seen. I mean, pearl snaps and everything, right? It was, I don't know if you've seen that Barbie movie, but it was like Midwestern Ken, basically. Well, he rolls up and he just starts yelling at me about when are we going to debate? When are we going to debate? What are we going to do? And I was just like, well, Josh, I've agreed to 5 TV debates, and I see you need a safe space in order to do that. So we even agreed to do one on Fox News. We're ready whenever you are, man. And he just keeps yapping up at me. And I think the scene you just saw right there was he had the gall to say he's the most pro-labor, I think he said Republican in the entire history of the world or some, crap like that. And I mean, the guy's got a 0% AFL rating. He led the right to work charge here in Missouri. When he was our attorney general, he led a lawsuit to make sure that 200,000 Missourians lost overtime pay. So, I was like, well, I guess we're going to mix it up then here, Josh. And so we did. And, here we are. I think the big takeaway from this, though, is just a sitting U.S. senator doesn't do that unless they're scared, right? The man has seen the numbers. He knows he's in danger. He knows nobody here likes him. And he's running scared because we're coming after him, man.
But isn't this just so symbolic of what I think the country is rejecting about this MAGA extremism? Like, on the one hand, you're out at the state fair, with your family, and look, you're shaking hands and you're just, wishing everybody well. You're there with your family, your kids. And then he shows up, he dresses up, as you said, like a Midwestern Ken, approaches you with cameras. He's rejected debate after debate after debate. And then he's like, all right, this is the debate, everybody. Here we go. And you're like, okay, we're going to do a real debate on TV. We can even do it on your favorite network. We could do it on Fox. Are we going to do that? And then he just wanted to yell at you for the cameras so that he can then post on Twitter, where they all just perpetually live. Looks like Kunce refused to show up to the debate today. He just made it up. There wasn't a debate. He got community noted, and people are like, the Missouri State Fair never sanctioned a debate. He's making this up. But like, isn't this so symptomatic of what people are just sick and tired of? It's like, let's just get back to normalcy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the dude is a performer, right? He's a show horse, not a workhorse. And you see that on his record in the Senate, and that's why people here don't like him anymore. I mean, he's the least popular senator up for re-election for a reason. And like, I can just say that, but like when you think about that, what that means, like, think of some of these clowns who are up for re-election, man. And Josh Hawley takes the cake on being the least popular in his own home state. And his take on this campaign is just a lie, lie, lie. I mean, he's already spent $1 million on fake attack ads on me on TV, saying that if I'm in the U.S. Senate, I'm going to outlaw all diesel and gas pickup trucks and take away everybody's keys, right? It's like, it's crazy. It's absolutely bananas. But that's where he's at right now. I mean, he got up the other day and he said, we can't afford 4 more years of Lucas Kunce in power. It's like, dude, I've been in the Marine Corps for the last, 13 years. I don't even know what you're talking about. You're the guy who's a U.S. senator. It's just these guys don't know how to lead. They don't want to do anything other than rule all of the rest of us rather than represent us. And it's just made them really out of touch. And it's why we're going to smoke him in this election, and why he's rightfully scared about, what it looks like for him going forward.
Tell us about the differences between you and Josh Hawley. As you just mentioned, you were in the Marines. Josh Hawley, infamously on January 6th, gave the fist up sign to the insurrectionist, and then he kind of pranced out of there, or ran out of there. Famously, that was caught on surveillance footage, the moment that the insurrectionist who he was telling to invade the Capitol actually got in. Talk to us about those differences and distinctions. And one of the things you focused on is calling him out for this kind of bizarre, the way he frames manhood, and always kind of talks about that when he's all about kind of putting people down.
I don't, that's really not fair, Ben. I mean, we did get the greatest self-help book of the 21st century out of this man, right? It's not all doom and gloom. Manhood by Josh Hawley, dude. And I tell you what, I used to be able to laugh about it, but then my campaign manager made me read it. And I swear to God, I wish we could have every Missourian, like, required reading before the election. You have to read Josh Hawley's book on manhood, because it's creepy. It's his whole thing is he compares himself to male figures of the Bible and says that if everyone were more like Josh Hawley, it would solve America's masculinity crisis. Like, you can't make up this stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. And so for me, it's just, I've spent my entire life just trying to serve everybody who took care of me as a kid. And for the background on that, my parents are like your typical mid-Missouri small town story. They were 19 and 22 years old when they got married. They were Catholic and they followed the rules. So if you know what that means, that is kid, 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 and the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle that goes along with that. But we lived in a great working class neighborhood where everybody just, kind of helped each other out. And the reason my parents stopped after the 4th kid is because when my littlest sister was born, she had to have a heart surgery, and she was actually immediately taken away in a helicopter, flown to St. Louis, a few hours away. My parents had to follow her. And if you know what that does to a family who's on the edge, living paycheck to paycheck, a medical disaster, it's like, it shouldn't be that way in this country, but it is. Like, that's the end of you. And so what I learned during that time, though, is just the strength we have in our communities. Because when we were at our lowest point, and my parents didn't know if my little sister was going to make it, which she did, thank God, but like, they didn't know if she was going to make it, and they also didn't know how, like, we were all going to make it as a family. The people in that neighborhood who had no more money than we did, they passed the plate at my mom's prayer group for us. They brought more food by the house than we could ever eat. They took me and my other siblings into their houses for weeks at a time while my parents were away for these surgeries. And like, I'm telling you, man, that's why we're going to win this race. Because when I go around Missouri and I talk about that, when I meet people here, literally every single person in this state has been a part of that on one side or the other. Like, everybody gets it except for Josh Hawley. Except for Josh Hawley, man. He doesn't get it. He's not here. He has been waging war on working people in this state his entire political career, and people are done with it, man. They're done with what he's done to us as working people. They are done with him trying to decide how we get to live. And I don't just mean the fact that his abortion ban makes it so we can't get abortions even in cases of rape or incest, but he also wants to take away in vitro fertilization, contraception. He's recently said that he thinks no-fault divorces should be ended so that people are stuck in broken and unsafe marriages. Like, it's crazy, man. Missourians are about freedom and making their own decisions, and we're going to smoke him on this. Like, people want that gone. We want to make our own decisions. And so the contrast between us, I'm going to invest in this state. I'm going to bring money home. I'm going to make sure people can make their own decisions. That guy, he just wants to control us all for his own power and his own glory, if that's what he thinks it is.
No, I got to show this. You did an ad about a year ago with John Hamm, which was amazing. And then you followed it up a week ago or so with an ad from John Goodman, which was incredible. And, just leaning into the Democratic Party and you being the party of actual family values and really protecting the families, and enough of this kind of MAGA performative stuff and saying that, while really they just want government involved to rule over your families. Let me show everybody this ad, because it was like pitch perfect. Let's play it.
Family values. I learned what that meant while growing up in the most beautiful state in the Union. And what that didn't mean. Family values didn't mean cruelty. It didn't mean fake patriotism. It didn't mean telling people how to live or family profits. It didn't mean leaving folks behind or making life harder for hardworking people. And it sure as hell didn't mean robbing people. None of that is family values. That's something else. In Missouri, Lucas Kunce and I didn't learn the meaning of family values from rich politicians and self-help authors like Josh Hawley. We're the show me state. People showed us. People like the neighbors and church friends who helped Lucas's family get by when his parents were bankrupted by medical bills. People like the scoutmaster, track coach, and public school teachers who mentored and supported Lucas growing up. People like the veterans at Lucas's local Marine Corps League, who taught him he could honor and protect everyone who took care of him by serving like they did. Lucas and I both learned family values is really about people taking care of each other and doing the right thing through good times and tough times.
Come on down, Lucas. Come on down.
All that other noise from the politicians,
I mean, this Kunce guy, he might be the...
that's something else. In Missouri, this November, no matter your party, no matter how you voted before, you have a real choice in the Senate race. Family values with Lucas Kunce, or something else with Josh Hawley.
What are you hearing from the constituents, the people in Missouri?
I mean, this is it. People just want to be invested in and be able to make their own decisions. And the thing that Josh, the basic thing you got to do as a U.S. senator is bring money back home and let people live their lives. He doesn't do either of those. He brings $0 back in earmarks every year. That money goes somewhere else. And you can see that when you look at our neighborhoods and stuff. Like, his career has literally been waging war on working people. I joined the Marine Corps to take care of everybody and honor and serve everybody in my neighborhood. Like the ad says, I led a police training team in Iraq. So I had 12 Marines and a Navy corpsman. It was my job to lead us on missions, dozens of missions outside the wire in the roads between Habbaniyah, Fallujah, and Ramadi, and bring everybody home safe, which we did, thankfully. And then I deployed to Afghanistan twice. And what grinds me up is that, while I was in and out of war zones overseas for 13 years, Josh Hawley and his buddies were literally waging war on the community that I signed up to serve. As our Attorney General, one of the first things he did was gut the division of that office that was made to protect us from the corporate predators who funded his campaign. Then he led a lawsuit that took away overtime pay from 200,000 Missourians, which cost us $27 million every single year. And I get it, man. I know you got rich in office, Josh, and so maybe $27 million doesn't seem like a lot to you, but that overtime pay, that's the money that we use to buy our kids a second pair of shoes during the school year, something that I watched my parents struggle with. It's the money we use to take care of one another, the way people took care of me. And it shows. His war on working people shows. Because if you go back to that neighborhood I grew up in, the first house I lived in is an empty lot. The one where they brought the food by that I ultimately joined the Marine Corps out of, it's boarded up to keep the squatters out. The store on the corner where my sister and I, when we were 8 and 6 years old, would walk to by ourselves to buy candy, was shut down because it's been robbed so many times it can't get insurance anymore. That is Josh Hawley's Missouri, and it's coming to every corner of our state and every corner of this country unless we fight back and win. And, that's what we're doing every single day. It's what the people of Missouri want to do. We want to take back power for ourselves. You see that on ballot initiatives we've passed. We have gone against him and his people in the last few years, very heavy. We overturned his anti-union right to work on ballot initiative, 68% to 32%. We expanded Medicaid. We increased the minimum wage $5 over the federal level. We made it legal to smoke weed. We did all these things, clawing back power from people like him. And this fall, we've got abortion on the ballot. We're going to take power back there for everybody who deserves it. And we're going to knock him out of there so we don't have to deal with this crap anymore, man. We're excited about it. People in this state are jazzed, and we're ready to go.
Lucas, where can people find out more about the campaign, or if they want to help out, where do they go?
You can come to the website, lucaskunce.com. Please send us your donations. We've got to fight back against that $1 million fake ad he's got on TV. Like, we got to, because we found when we push back, people don't believe him, and they want it. They want somebody else. They want a veteran, someone with a record of service. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter. It's Lucas Kunce MO, Facebook, things like that. If you got friends and family in Missouri, please let them know you saw me here. Let them know what we stand for. And really just, this is a grassroots campaign. We take no money from corporate PACs, no money from federal lobbyists, no money from big pharma executives, none of that, because I believe in doing this the right way. And whatever you can do to help us, whether it's getting on phones, text messages, posting on Facebook, or donating, please do. We're going to win this thing, and we're going to make everybody proud.
Lucas Kunce running for the Senate seat in Missouri, the Democratic candidate for Senate in Missouri. Thanks, Lucas. Appreciate you.
No, thanks again for having me, man.
Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Let's get there this week. Have a good one.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.